Good morning everyone, Bore da, Dan here at Right Nice Places on a bit of a windy but very sunny and very beautiful Sunday morning. And today I'm going to be climbing Rhinog, well I'm not climbing, I'm walking up Rhinog Fawr today. And the Rhinogs are beautiful mountains not too far away from Barmouth. You can see them behind me ish there. I'm sort of stood in the valley of them both, but Rhinog Fawr, Rhinog Fach, just there. And we're going to go up Rhinog Fawr today. We've found where you need to park, which is Cwm Nantol. And you'll be able to find it on my maps that I'll share in the description of this video. But one thing you do need to do if you come in here is it's £3 to park. You have to pay at the farm. It's just here. All right. But yeah, so we're going to be doing Rhinog Fawr today. And let's take you up there now. So yeah, we're starting on our Rhinogs now. And it is a beautiful day for it. Climbing up the hills. It's very, very lovely. But the Rhinogs are probably one of the more isolated mountains in Snowdonia. So it's definitely advisable to bring a map, a compass and plan a route before heading out, which is exactly what me and Nantcol did last night. And that's the route I'm going to show you now. So leaving Cwm Nantol car park, you're going to head straight up through heather, rocks, really difficult terrain and pretty slow going, to be fair, trying to pick your path and following markers. But bear with it. And when you get up to this plateau, you'll get some of the greatest views I've ever seen of Snowdonia. From this point, you'll eventually find a little gate in the old wall. Go through that and you'll be following an old goat track as you start approaching Rhinog Fawr's summit. And then you'll go up this little scrambly part, have a brew at the top, turn around and then start coming back down again. Very, very scrambly, very, very loose. There are goat tracks and sheep tracks to follow. We found a few on the way down. You just got to keep your eyes open. And the same goes all the way down this, because again, it's heather, it's sort of ankle breaking terrain and lots of streams. Let's go, innit? So, I don't know. We've come a little bit away from the car now. And as I mentioned earlier, if you come into the Rhinogs, you've got to plan a route, because unlike Snowdon or Eryri or Eryri or any of those other mountains, there isn't a path here. There's a path marked on the OS map, but ultimately you can't see a path on the actual ground. So you really need to get a compass bearing or a GPS bearing, and you need to be following it and picking your best path through what is ultimately quite boggy land, which is why poles are a good idea, because you can prod the ground before you step onto it. But you are rewarded with a total awesome feeling of being alone, other than being with Nantcol. But you can see now just why the Rhinogs means throughway in Welsh. You can see how you can go through those mountains, through that bypass, and carry on into Eryri. But yeah, come to the Rhinogs, but come prepared. That wind's getting pretty strong now. And the Rhinogs so far are absolutely stunning. I don't think I've ever been up a mountain in Snowdonia that's quite as isolated or quite as quiet as this one is. Considering it's a sunny day on a Sunday, I have yet to see a soul. Again, other than Nantcol. But what I will say is that it's bloody boggy. You know, come to the Rhinog, she said. It'll be fun, she said. Up to my knees in fucking peat bogs and dog poo and God knows what, but it is remarkably beautiful. But again, please don't come here without proper navigation aids, because if the weather came down here, you would be truly lost. Stunning. Oh, So we're pretty close to the top on the Rhinogs now, and so far it's definitely been the most technical walk I've done on any of my YouTube channels so far. Please don't come here without a map and compass, and if you don't like walking without an actual path, then don't come here either. But if you do like to be off the beaten track, and you do like no crowds, and you like awesome views like this, then definitely do come here, because let me tell you, so far it's a right nice place. But behind us now is the final part of the ascent, and as you can see, it's going to be scrambly, it's going to be rocky, you're going to have to pick a route. So yeah, the Rhinogs, so far so good. Not the easiest, taken a lot longer in time than we expected. Now thankfully we've given ourselves like 7 hours of daylight today, which more than enough to be on the mountain and off the mountain. But don't try and do this as a short walk, because the terrain is so difficult to sort of navigate really. But you are rewarded with outstanding views of all of Snowdonia. Well done, love. So Shmai croeso ar ben Rhinog Fawr. So hello and welcome to the top of Rhinog Fawr. Here I am at the trig point, and it's pretty windy up here. The views are next level. Now this is the first time I've done Rhinog Fawr. I'm quite pleased with myself, because it's not an easy mountain, and you have to go a little bit off piste to find it, a little bit of scrambling, a little bit of technicality. It is not a mountain to do if you've never done a mountain before, and it is not a mountain to do if you cannot read a map. However, learn to do those things and you're in for an absolute bloody treat, because I've always said Shabod is my favourite mountain because of the 360 views that it offers. But I'll be honest, this one does rival it. I mean, it is a little bit hazy today, but the views, I've got Eryri, I've got the Moyle Winds, I've got the Cwm Peninsula. I can just about make out the Glideri. Behind me, I've got Rhinog Fawr, and then further down, I've got Barmouth, I've got Cricketh, I've got Black Rock Sands. Absolutely unreal. However, in terms of how easy was this mountain, in terms of strenuous, I wouldn't say very strenuous at all. It's only 700 meters. It's by no means the biggest mountain. I'm just getting in the shelter now to get out the wind, and we're going to have a brew. But yeah, it's by no means the biggest mountain, but what it is, it's completely off track. Completely off track. You've got to be walking across bog, heather, rock, all sorts of fun things, but it is beautiful. But please don't come expecting a path like Llanberis or something like that, because you're not going to find it. But I'm going to have a brew now, we're going to have something to eat, then we're going to head down. Thanks to the old jet boil, I've got a lovely lobscouse on top of a mountain, and thanks to the lovely Butcher's Joneses in Clanroost, well, you legend, I've got a lovely bit of meat in there as well. Thank you very much. Hello. So after an absolutely, I'll start that again because I just fell down a hole. After an absolutely delightful lunch of lobscouse at the top of Rhinog Fawr, we are now on our way back down. We've just come down the big scrambly bit, which actually looks a lot scarier than it is, but it is certainly technical. I wouldn't be advising, well, it's not too technical, but I wouldn't be advising this as a beginner's route. And like always, guys, if you are coming on a mountain, make sure you're planning and preparing before you do come. I mean, this for us has been a prime example today. You know, make sure first off you give yourself plenty of daylight hours for coming on a mountain. This walk today, when I planned my route, which you saw earlier on OS Maps, it reckoned it was only, you know, sort of 6 kilometers, 7 kilometers, which at my pace, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour walk. But because of the terrain you're going over today, you can't do them sort of time scales at all. And in fact, it's taken me double that amount of time. By the time I get to the bottom of the mountain today, I reckon I will have been on here for a total of 5.5 hours, which for me is a long time on a hill. But that is the sort of ground conditions here. So first off, rule number one, plan your route. Number two, make sure you've got plenty of daylight hours, and even if you have got plenty of daylight hours, just like I have today, make sure you're packing a head torch just in case, because if something happens on this mountain and you're stuck here in the dark, it'd be horrible. And you know, you could be waiting hours for mountain rescue, on average 8 for mountain rescue to get to you. So make sure you've got layers even on a sunny day like today, snacks, drinks, etc. Make sure you've got it all with you, because don't plan on just being on and off the mountain dead quick. Plan for the worst happening. And I know that sounds a bit grim, but you'd be daft not to, especially somewhere like the Rhinogs, because I think we've seen maybe 5-6 people all day, and we only saw those as we were approaching at the very top of the mountain. Beyond that, we didn't see anybody for hours walking up to it, and it is very, very isolated here. So yeah, make sure you plan your route, make sure you're packing your bags properly, and if you want any tips on what to pack on a mountain hike, then check out my playlist of packing for beginners on mountains, and that'll show you what you need to pack as well. But yeah, we're going to head down now. I'll talk to you when we get back to the car park. Thanks for watching. Oof. So we're not far from the bottom now, but we are just about to hit the worst part of the walk, which is just a filthy bog. So as always, to cheer me up on my way down a mountain, I've got some little sweeties. So thank you, Osprey. Today I've got Werther's Original. Absolutely delightful. Never forget your sweeties. So that's us now got to the bottom of Rhinog Fawr, and what a walk it was. It's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Half four in the afternoon. So it's taken us a total of 5 hours to do Rhinog Fawr today. We've gone up from the west side, and my God, what a slog. What a slog. So a really great mountain. I'd strongly recommend you come and do Rhinog Fawr. Absolutely stunning. But again, I can't recommend enough that you need to plan for this route. This is not coming up in trainers and just having a jolly old day out on a mountain because you'll be calling somebody for help. You need to be following a map. You need to know how to use a compass. You need to have poles with you, good boots with you. I'd recommend gaiters with you. I mean, it has been stunning today, but that mountain, absolutely saturated. Technicality wise, it's not too bad up until you get about, what, a third from the top, and then you're scrambling hands and feet or looking for a path. So yeah, so not too scary, but a little bit technical. Certainly not a mountain for beginners, but a bloody beautiful one, and the views are absolutely wicked. So hopefully you've enjoyed our journey today, and if you have, please like, please subscribe, please follow, please share, and all that jazz. And join me on my next video. This has been me, Dan, at Right Nice Places. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.